Welcome back to our final video where we will go over some additional details for the trip. The first is about signing up for My Trip, which is a site provided for World Strides for parents that allows you to get updates about the trip, both from World Strides and myself. After registering for the trip, you will receive an email asking you to register for My Trip, so please make sure you do that. And make sure you are using an email that you know you will be checking regularly, as updates and requests will be sent through the site, and it's very important that you are in the information loop so you know all of the important details about the trip. The next detail is behavior contracts. So you will receive a Google form via email in September that you and your student will need to read through and complete. And it outlines behaviors that lead to a student's removal from the trip prior to departing from Novi. We are traveling out of state to a place where excellent behavior is required and expected. And if we cannot trust students to behave properly while they are in school in Novi, we don't want to take the chance that they would behave inappropriately in Washington, D.C. So violation of this contract would cause a student to be removed from the trip. Also, there is a behavior contract that students are expected to follow while we are on the trip. And if there is some egregious behavior and completely inappropriate, students will be sent home on the next available flight on their parents' at their parents' cost. So us in Novi have never had to send home a child from Washington, D.C. for behavior reasons. It has happened with other groups in DC. We do have very high expectations for our Novi students, and every year they do rise to the occasion. But this is in place just to ensure that they are aware of those behavior expectations. Lots of times parents are very concerned about medication being available for students to take if they need it while on the trip. We discussed this in great detail at the mandatory meeting in October before leaving for the trip. There are forms available in the fall for prescription medications that you might want to be sending for your child to take, and over-the-counter medicines that our chaperones can give to students as needed. Just know that if you are sending medication with your child that is normally kept at home, the forms and medications will be due to the main office at least 1 week prior to the trip so that our district nurses can organize it. And each group chaperone can disperse medication as needed so that your students do have those medications that they need while on the trip. And again, we cover this in much greater detail in the fall prior to the trip. When you register for the trip, World Strides will send you an email or a mailing saying that your child can get high school credit by going on this trip. It's part of their automatic mailing process, but it does not apply to us because Novi High School does not offer a class that matches with the trip. Students are not able to earn high school credit while on this trip. Registering for the trip does include a hoodie, sweatshirt, and a t-shirt. These are designed specifically for NMS, and it is included in the trip price. Usually in the late winter, early spring, you will receive an email from World Strides requesting your child's size. They are adult sizes, so small, medium, and extra large. Remember that your child will likely grow between this winter, spring, and next fall. So if you're kind of between sizes, I always recommend that you go with the larger size so that they can grow into it. Know that this is a separate order for us, so do not order a shirt when you are registering for the trip. You will get a separate email again in late winter, early spring, asking you to submit a size for your child. In October of 2024, we will have a mandatory parent meeting here at the middle school about 2 weeks prior to the trip to finalize plans for the trip. Items that we will discuss include what to pack, student expectations. You'll receive those medical forms and emergency forms to fill out. And it's a great opportunity for me to be able to answer any questions that you and your child might have. We do send out the date for this meeting right at the beginning of the 2024 school year. And just some final reminders, the trip cost is $1,474, but there is a $75 discount if you register by January 30th with that initial deposit. The initial deposit is $49 if you register by January 30th, or $99 if you register after, and that deposit is applied to the cost of the trip. All money and registration is handled by World Strides on their website, not the school. So no registration information or money is sent to Novi Middle School. In the late winter, early spring, make sure you are watching for and responding to an email regarding your child's hoodie and shirt size. Students will select roommates the first or second week of school in September of 2024. More information will go out about that at the beginning of the year. We do help kids organize as needed, and we do have, again, 4 students per room. More details, trip info, medication info, etc., will be provided at the mandatory parent meeting in October of 2024. And finally, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Megan Barnowskis. You can either call the school or send me an email. I would say the best way to get in contact with me, at least initially, is to send an email. And then if we need to set up a time for a phone call, we can do that as needed. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I'm really looking forward to another awesome trip with our 8th graders in 2024. Thank you and have a great day.